about negotiating a resolution before this escalates further. By lunchtime, the whole school was buzzing with rumors. Someone had started a ridiculous story that I was getting $1 million and the school was shutting down. I had to keep telling people it wasn't that dramatic. Riley sat with me and showed me some messages she'd gotten from students in Ms. Wright's other classes who wanted to come forward too. "This is getting huge, Jordan," she said. "Someone even made a TikTok about it." I nearly choked on my sandwich. "Please tell me I'm not in it." She patted my arm. "Relax, it's just some dramatic reenactment with text overlays, but it has like 3,000 views already." After school, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Ms. Wright. My hand started shaking as I read it. "You've made a huge mistake. I was only trying to educate you all. You'll regret this attack on me." I immediately showed it to my parents, who called Linda. She told us to save the message and not respond, then added, "intimidation of a witness," to our growing list of complaints. I blocked the number, but felt uneasy for the rest of the night. Thursday was even weirder. Ms. Thompson pulled me aside in the hallway and whispered that the school board was meeting that evening to discuss our case and that I might want to prepare a statement. When I asked why she was telling me this, she just said, "Not everyone agrees with how this has been handled," and walked away. Riley and I stayed after school to work on our statements, making sure to stick to the facts. I focused on how Ms. Wright had completely abandoned the curriculum and become hostile when questioned. Riley wrote about how the classroom environment had become intimidating and how students were falling behind in math. On the way home, we noticed a small group of people holding signs near the school entrance. As we got closer, I could see they were protesting in support of Ms. Wright. Their signs had messages like, "Protect trans teachers," and "Stop teenage bigotry." One woman pointed at me and started shouting that I was canceling a marginalized educator for expressing her identity. Riley pulled me away before I could say anything. "Don't engage. They don't know what actually happened." I felt sick to my stomach. This wasn't about Ms. Wright being trans at all. It was about her hitting me and not teaching the subject she was hired to teach. But now, people were twisting everything around. When we got to my house, there were 3 news vans parked out front. Actual reporters with microphones and cameras. I froze on the sidewalk, but my mom came rushing out and ushered us inside. Apparently, someone had leaked details of our lawsuit to the local news, and they were trying to get a statement. Linda arrived 20 minutes later, looking frazzled. "This is getting out of hand," she told my parents. "The school district is trying to control the narrative by painting this as an anti-transgender witch hunt, rather than addressing the actual misconduct." She helped us draft a simple statement that focused solely on Ms. Wright's failure to teach the curriculum and her inappropriate behavior, with no mention of her gender identity. My dad read it to the reporters while I stayed inside, watching through the window. That night, I made the mistake of checking social media. There were at least 3 different hashtags about the situation, with people arguing on both sides, most of whom had no idea what actually happened. Some random adult I'd never met tweeted that I was a teenage bigot looking for attention, and it had hundreds of likes. I showed it to my mom, who immediately took my phone away and told me to stay off social media completely. "These people don't know you," she said. "They don't know what happened. Don't let them get in your head." Friday morning was the most surreal yet. I walked into school to find students wearing homemade badges, some saying, "I stand with Jordan," and others saying, "I stand with Ms. Wright." The whole thing had split the school into factions. Quinn and a few others from math club surrounded me like bodyguards, walking me to my first class. "This is insane," I whispered to Quinn. "I just wanted to learn calculus." Quinn nodded. "That's